1.9 billion is the amount of money people spend on flowers on Valentine's Day each year on average in America. So that's a lot of money to be spending on flowers. So I hope to help you know how to arrange flowers and help kind of decrease that 1.9 billion a little bit more. I will be teaching you today about how to arrange flowers by first preparing and selecting your flowers. Second is arranging them, putting them in the vase. And third, cleaning up the appearance to make it look beautiful. I have looked on Pinterest many times. I have like 2,000 pins, so I definitely know a lot about Pinterest, and I really like all the flower tutorials on there, so that's why I kind of know, and I've also taken a flower arranging class before. And flowers are used at many special occasions, and the kind of ironic part is they're used at many special occasions. They're also used as speeches, so that's a really good way to tie in flowers with that. And flowers they can either make or break an occasion depending on what they are, and they can kind of class up something by just having the perfect flowers. So we'll start by preparing and selecting our flowers. The first ones you want to pick are your subject flowers. These are your bigger flowers. These are your subject flowers, as they're named. And when you prepare them, you just want to clean them off. I bought these at Dillon's a couple days ago, and so they're already kind of prepared. They didn't have any leaves on them already, so those are already ready. And you want to make sure that you have at least probably 4 or 5, depending on how big your vase is. If it's smaller, you probably need less, but for the arrangement I'm making, it's about 4 or 5. The next ones you're going to pick are your secondary flowers. These are the ones that are going to complement your subject flowers. These can be a little smaller, maybe different heights. So pick these, and you want to keep the same color scheme depending on what they are. So these would go great with these sunflowers as well. And if you can see, these purple flowers have, these daisies have green in the middle, so these carnations are a little like greenish, so they can help with that. And then to clean these, what you're going to do is just kind of pick off some of these extra flowers or the extra leaves on the bottom to kind of make them look nicer. As you can see in my vase, there's some extra, so that's what you want to kind of prevent, is some of these like extra leaves and flowers in here, because it makes it look cleaner. So you'll just pick a couple of these, and you don't want these to overtake your subject flowers, but they should fill up some of the holes and complement them. And your next ones, I usually pick 2 subject flower or 2 secondary flowers. And these also go with the color scheme because purple and yellow are complementary colors. So that's why I picked the purple. And these took a little bit more of preparing, just taking off some of these leaves, making sure that the water, when they come with flowers, they usually come with those powder packets that help the flower stay longer. So make sure you're using that in the water, not just regular water. And I usually pick like 4 or 5 bunches of these. These came together, so that kind of worked out. So you don't have to buy them individually because flowers can get expensive. So once you have your flowers prepared, the next thing you're going to do is start arranging. Arranging includes, just like when you prepare a select, you're going to start with your subject flowers first. And you want to make sure that there's subject flowers on each side as you turn around. So if this was for a dinner table, and we'll just say that it is, you want to make sure that no matter where you are on the table, you can see at least 1 subject flower. Because you don't want them all on the same side, because if I was sitting on this side, it wouldn't look very nice. So all of your subject flowers are in. Then you'll move on to your secondary flowers. These are your secondary flowers. You'll put these in, and you want to kind of make these, just start filling some of those holes. Obviously there's a lot of them at this point. And you'll just space these around so they look nice. And you want to make sure they're different heights. And the best thing about flower arrangements is there's no wrong way to do it. You can do it however you like. And if they're too tall, you can cut them down. If they're too short, you're kind of screwed, so you start over. But you just kind of want to make sure they're not all like the same height, because if they were all flat, it wouldn't look very pleasing. So then you'll put another group of secondary flowers in, and you just kind of put these in. And I've already cut these ahead of time, so that's why they're kind of different heights already. But when I first bought these carnations, they were all like super tall, so you're going to have to cut them down. It's just like this one, it's super tall, so they just come in different lengths depending on how they cut them originally. So if you can kind of see, there's at least like 1 subject flower as you look. And if you don't like it, you can always change it. So once you have those in, the next part you're going to do when you're arranging is putting your greenery in. Greenery helps fill some of those holes and just complement it. So these are just, there's many different types. And I bought these from Nooks and Crannies. And so there's obviously like a bunch here. You wouldn't want to just stick this in. So you kind of want to break it up and kind of make the bottom look a little nicer. So as we do that, that kind of helps complement the bottom of the vase and doesn't make it look so awkward that it just starts there. So once you have your arrangement, the next thing you're going to do is move on to the appearance. So the appearance starts with the water. You want to make sure the water looks decently okay, and because of that powder in there, it makes it a little murky. So if you started out with a colored base, you don't ever have to worry about what happens in that water. And we clean up those stems, because if you can see the difference between this one and this one, I mean, this one's obviously the cleaner one because it doesn't have all of those stems in it, and you can just see stems, or you can just see stems and you can't see leaves. So if you leave all those leaves on, they'll fall off or they'll die and they don't look very pleasing. Another thing you can do if you don't want a colored base, or you don't want to have them take them all out and clean it, is you can just simply add a ribbon around the middle depending on how the base looks. Or you can get like one that has like a texture on the outside, and then you don't even have to worry about it because it would already kind of like be different, and that's not a very pretty bow. But that kind of helps break up the eye a little bit and brings it up here. So after you have your appearance and you've cleaned it up, we'll just we'll sum up some of the key points of a good flower arrangement. First, you want to prepare and select your flowers so they look clean to start out with. Next, you're going to arrange them, and there's no bad way to arrange them in. You can put them in however you'd like. And the final one is cleaning up the appearance. So I hope now that you know how to arrange flowers, you can impress your family or significant other. Instead of buying a store-bought arrangement, you can kind of maybe spend the extra money and make a unique arrangement that you wouldn't be able to find at the store. So I hope you don't spend $1.9 billion on flowers this next year, but instead arrange your own. Thank you.